Clint Cosgrove Rivals.com back with another edition of From the Film Room, where we select a player and then we break down their physical and athletic profile and then head to the film to show you why they are a special player. This week we are talking about Illinois athlete commit 4-star Tysean Griffin out of Morgan Park High School in Chicago, Illinois. Massive pickup for the Illini in this 2024 class. Now to the physical and athletic profile. He's not going to wow you with his size, but he isn't small by any means. In fact, he plays big and he's a strong kid. Comes in at that 5'11", 175, 180-pound range. Like I said, strong kid, plays bigger than his size, has the athleticism and agility of a smaller slot type at the same time. Now, we have him listed as an athlete because he's a 4-star caliber player at multiple positions on both sides of the ball. He can play running back, receiver, corner, nickel, safety. You'll see this on film. But he'll also be an impact player on special teams. Now, he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he is all business when he steps on the field. Absolutely dynamic with the ball in space. He sees the field well with great anticipation. He can cut on a dime and has the burst and speed to take the short ball, for an explosive play. You love that about him. You'll see it on film. My understanding is that is how Illinois will use him. They will start him out at that slot receiver position. They see him being typical to Isaiah Williams, who is there right now and will be gone at the end of the season. So he could be a weapon for the Illini early on in his career. But you just love the kid on film. You just love him when you see him in person. And so without further ado, let's turn on the film to show you why Tysean Griffin is a special player. Okay, now onto the film. And I chose this first play because this is a great display of Griffin's awareness, cutting ability, balance, strength, vision, burst, and speed. So when you run the film, you're going to see he's coming out of the pistol. And what the pistol allows a running back to do is come downhill pretty much at full speed by the time they get the ball. Now, this can be a good thing, except when you get penetration. So he's already coming down the field hard. And then there's that penetration. But what he does is you see that amazing side step, all right? That quick lateral step with little wasted movement, all right? He's able to get back to full speed right away, finds open field immediately. And I talk about him playing bigger than he is, and we see that stiff arm. Nothing really causes him to break his stride. Doesn't have to be big, but he hits that stiff arm. And then you get another guy hands on him, but he is just powered through that. He's a slippery runner, extremely slippery. He does run hard. He does run with power, but he is also slippery. And then what you love here is when two defenders appear to have him dead to rights, he makes a violent cut, cuts on a dime, and then has the speed to take it the distance. This should have been a TFL. Then it should have been a short game. Then it should have been a somewhat long game. But he uses that skill set and that nose for the end zone to make a special play out of what I said should have been a TFL and take it for 6. All right, now on to this second play, and it is short and sweet, but it kind of speaks for itself. What I want you to see here, Griffin's instincts, ability to be a high caliber player on both sides of the ball, his overall quickness, body control, burst, and then ball skills. Now, we look at the play, it's backed up. He is backed up. He's at that corner up top playing press man, critical situation, close game. And, he makes this look easy, but this is a special play in every way. Now, start the play. He mirrors this receiver step for step, doesn't charge hard on that slant, stays on that hip, but that slant turns out to be a whip route. But since Griffin plays it correctly, stays on the hip, and usually you're hoping for a PBU at best case scenario right here, but he is such an incredible burst and is so twitched up that he doesn't stop there. So he stays in phase and in a very short period of time is able to identify that ball, not only get the PBU, not even make it an incompletion, but cut in front of the receiver for an interception, which is not only a special play, but this is a momentum changer in a critical situation. And that's where I go back to Griffin is a player that you can count on. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and this is a great example of that. All right, now on to this third play, and this is a great example of that body control, balance, and refusal to go down with the ball in his hands. He looks like a pinball out there, bouncing off defenders left and right, seeing any little crease and hitting it with that big burst, keeps his speed, great vision, and aside from taking another dead play, the distance, the thing that I love here is the fact that no matter how many obstacles are in the way, it seems like he never breaks stride. And this is a special trait. It takes incredible balance and burst and just speed to repeatedly get to full throttle and score on a play like this. All right. Now on to this final play. And I finished with this fourth play because since he will be playing receiver, I wanted to show you the ball skills and ability after the catch, which you're going to see is very similar to what you see when he takes the ball out of the backfield. Griffin is the complete package. He is the slot type that runs with violence and the physicality of a big back. You know, he's a guy that can play receiver with the gifts of a high caliber running back after the catch. And that is a rare trait. That is what makes Tysean Griffin special. And there you have it. That is from the film room with 4-star athlete Tysean Griffin. And one of my favorite parts of doing from the film room is the NFL comp. And I didn't have to think too long and hard about this one because I coached the player who I'm going to compare Griffin to in college. And that is Marcus Sherrills, who played for us at Minnesota. He played as a receiver and then switched over to defensive back, was also a monster in the return game. And that's the type of player Griffin is. He can make an impact in multiple areas. And so Sherrills was playing receiver. We didn't think he was getting enough balls as defensive backs coaches, so we asked for him to come over and play corner for us, where he was an immediate impact player. And then he went on to have a 10-year NFL career, mostly with the Vikings. And he did start games at corner, but was known for his punt returning. That is something that Griffin is going to have a chance to be an impact player at in the return game. But Sherrills was a special player, a little smaller than Griffin at about 5'9", with Griffin being in that 5'11" range. But, you know, dynamic with the ball in his hands, could play multiple positions, and just a guy you could always count on. So that is my NFL comp. Tysean Griffin, Marcus Sherrills, and there you have it. 4-star athlete Tysean Griffin from the film room.